everything was ready to go. Every unit that goes out into distribution is going to create a happy customer. We weren't going to let it go. We've got too much investment, and we've worked too hard on this brand to do ourselves a disservice by releasing something just because we put an initial date out there. It's not the right thing for us as a brand, and it's surely not the right thing for the customer. So it just so happened that March 29th ended up being the time that we were very, very comfortable with where everything sits, and that's how we got here.
From a features and benefits standpoint, I mean, you talked about capacity, you talked about how stout it is. What do you think 2, 3, or 4 of the high-level features here that really set this grill apart from some of the other things that are existing on the market? Or maybe that you can't even compete with it on the market?
Yeah, so you'll see. We built it all around really 3 real big highlights to us. The first one is just the superior structure. The build of it is awesome. The second one is what we call the super smoke technology, which Michael Colston will go into in great detail tomorrow, because I'm sure, and I know some of your listeners, because they're some of mine and been dear friends for a while, they're going to want to know, well, what do you mean, and how does that literally happen? And Michael's going to talk about it. There's something about with what we're doing with our controller that at lower temperature, any temperature below 225, we can create an exponential amount of smoke compared to any other pellet grill. And we're going to talk about that more. And then the other one, the number 3 thing that's key to us is the Wi-Fi technology. What we've done with the controller. We realize that's been a big knock on Traeger in the past, is controller, and it will no longer be a knock when it comes to this grill. So that's really our 3, the 3 legs of our milk and stool, if you will. And dude, I tell you what, the more we keep talking about it, I may not sleep tonight, Greg. I'm like a kid on Christmas morning.
Yeah, man, you sound all jazzed up.
Man.
You sound all jazzed up right now. Chad Ward talking to us here on the show from Traeger Grills, getting ready to launch the new Timberline tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So TraegerGrills.com is the place to go to see that live stream, Chad?
Yeah, TraegerGrills.com/Timberline. Also, you can go over to our Facebook page at Traeger Grills. Greg, I'm going to ask you this. I mean, you saw it on the floor.
Yep.
You saw it on the floor at HPBA. Give me your criticism and what you thought of it.
Well, first of all, Luke Edgar took me through it, and for as much as he wants to be self-effacing, not knowing anything about grills and not knowing anything about the live fire industry, I mean, the guy's a first-class businessman. He knew everything top to bottom on that thing. I mean, I couldn't have had a better walkthrough on that. I thought the build.
And the other thing, do you know about that guy? I don't know snowboarding or any of that, but Mount Baker, the Mount Baker contest every year is the ultimate contest, right, for snowboarders. And Luke Edgar's won the seniors division the last 2 years in a row.
Really?
So yeah,
wow.
Sorry, I had to take a break here. I've got Fidel Astoria from Utah Barbecue Company, American Royal 2015 brisket champion here, coming over to shake my hand, tell me he's leaving.
Leaving?
Fidel usually listens to the show. He's a listener of yours.
All right, shout out.
He's got to go. Anybody that needs Subaru parts.
Subaru.
Call Mark Miller Subaru tomorrow. Ask for Fidel. Fidel gets hooked up. I'll tell you one thing, dude. That guy has the best Subaru spoilers you've ever seen in your life, man. Worldwide, he is the #1 spoiler salesman.
I don't know what that gets you in life, but that's great.
Dude, a fat-ass commission check's what it gets you.
All right. I love it. I love fat-ass commission checks.
I didn't mean to interrupt you when American Royal Brisket World Champion comes over to shake your hand. You got to give him recognition on the Greg Rempe.
Yeah, and access to the best spoilers that Subaru can put out. I mean, that's great.
Oh, dude, hey,
life changing.
Hey, it's not in the parts book. Tell me you want the Chad. Tell me you want the Chad Ward Deluxe Subaru spoiler kit.
Yeah.
Oh, your shit's about to pop, son.
Yeah, and and give me a sawbuck on Johnny Mixel-Sticks in the 5th, right? Because Chad Ward's book is still open. I know it.
Hey, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you this, dude. I don't know if you noticed, Johnny Triggs put a couple of spoilers on his Jambo, and those are Fidel provided those.
It's funny. I just talked to Johnny Trigg yesterday, and I called him up. It sounded like this. It was like, Oh, you can't hear that. That's right. You're on the phone. Yeah. But it sounded like that too, nevertheless. So here's what I thought. I thought from a build perspective, it looks completely different than anything else Traeger is currently offering that you can stick in your backyard. It is a heavy or stout build, as you said. The capacity on it, I believe you were showing the 850 at the HPB Expo. The capacity on it looked tremendous. I like the magnetic cutting board that sits atop the pellet hopper. That's very unique.
Well, spoiler alert.
Yeah, and then the amount of cloud-based cooking that Luke went in great detail on can really be a game changer there. I don't want to, spoil too many storylines here for tomorrow, but that is going to be something that could really push this cooker over the top.
I'll tell you, it really can be, especially when you think about all the times at a contest in the middle of the night, you got to get up and change temps and this and that. Well, that may be going away.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll have to tune in tomorrow, but no, I think the amount of cloud opportunity that we've made for that is really, really neat.
The other thing that I really found interesting, and I'm sure they'll dig into it more and get in the weeds, is how the smoke is circulated through that cooker. So you always have that new smoke coming over the meat and then being exhausted out of the back. I think one of the unique visual components or things that you won't see on this that you would normally see on any other Traeger is there is no exhaust stack on this cooker.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. And I think that's a huge result of hiring a VP of product that had never been in the grill industry.
Mm-hmm.
We challenged him to go and look at how do we create the cleanest smoke, the best smoke in the chamber. And he wasn't worried about making it look like every other barbecue grill with a stack on the side. So that's really interesting, and I think it's definitely worth it. And once again, guys, if you can't tune in live tomorrow, you can always, when you get off of work, go back and look at it on TraegerGrills.com on Facebook or on the website. It's worth to see. I mean, when you hear, look, I've heard the pitch 30 times from Michael Colston about smoke science. I still get excited every time. Like I'm going to be on the panel asking questions tomorrow, and I'm going to be looking at Michael Colston. It is amazing to hear about the science that went behind it and why we've engineered this the way we do. Because I thought I knew a lot about smoke generation, how it gets dirty, those kind of things. Man, until I really sat down, hey, if you want to get educated on it, Greg, you know how. If I want to learn about something, you know what I do, right?
You tune into my show. You tune into my show.
Well,
son of a bitch.
I just sit around. I just sit across the table from the guy that has the information with a 750 of bourbon, and we just chat about it for a little while.
That's right.
But Michael's going to be a key part of tomorrow, and I really want people to tune in and learn about that smoke science because it's something that we see as a game changer.
Chad Ward, Traeger Grills. The big launch is tomorrow for the Timberline. Chad, give out the website one more time and the times.
Yeah, so we're talking about 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Central, 11 a.m. Mountain, and don't want to leave out our guys on the left coast, 10 a.m. We will be at TraegerGrills.com/Timberline, and we will also be at Traeger Grills on Facebook. So, Greg, thank you so much for your time. And actually, well, no, I won't. Never mind. I was going to say I'm going to have a show next week, but I can't. I'm teaching a Traeger class.
Yeah, you know all the laughing sound effects are playing right now that you can't hear. Right? Chad Ward talking about doing the show. Yeah, that's right.
I'm very sure of that.
All right. So, Chad, always appreciate the time, man. Thanks so much, and please give my regards to top men in the industry.
I will, dude. Thanks so much, Greg. Thanks for the time. And listeners, if you listen to my show and Greg's show, 1, you're smart as hell, and 2, I've missed you guys, and we will get this thing back on track sooner than later. As always, Greg, appreciate the opportunity.
All right, Chad, thanks so much. There he is, Chad Ward from Whiskey Bent Barbecue in the pit. Oh, cripes. See what happens. You try and do editing on the try and do stuff on the fly.
All guests on the Barbecue Central show appear via the Smith.
Yeah, well, Let's try that again.
All guests on the
Oh,
Barbecue
my
Central
Lord.
show appear via the Smithfield hotline.
Yikes.
Yummy.
All right. Well, we are. The good news is we're back online, so I can go back through Skype on this one. Had to go quick McGillicuddy Jones. Take the iPad cord, go into the phone, run it through the mixer. Wow. I am smart. Thanks to Chad Ward from Traeger Grills. Cook Shack, however, manufactures smoker ovens for barbecue lovers with any amount of experience, whether you're in the backyard, on the competition circuit, in a 5-star dining facility. Cook Shack has the unit that will do the job. And with a full line of barbecue sauces, spices, pellets, and wood chunks, it's the perfect one-stop shop. Cook Shack strives to be your barbecue resource center by offering cooking classes, online recipes, how-to videos, 2 blogs, smoking grilling 101s, and a video cooking classroom. Check out their website at cookshack.com or follow them on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest, and Google+. Get advice or share your passion for barbecue on their world-class barbecue forum. Cook Shack pellet-fired smokers are the choice of champions because they were designed by a champion. Ed Fast Eddie Morin, the FEC 100, PG 1000, always customer favorites. Why? Because the PG 1000 can double as a smoker and a grill. Low and slow, hot and fast. The pellet grill line gives you the most for your money. Cook Shack residential electric smokers are the #1 smoker in the industry. High quality means high durability and versatility. Anything you can cook in an oven, you can make in a Cook Shack. And passion and dedication drives Cook Shack's manufacturing, with quality always being at the forefront. Get the best in barbecue since 1962. Call 800-423-0698. That's 800-423-0698. Or visit the website, cookshack.com. All right, Cory Civillo coming up, knobwhereyouneedit.com. Stick around.
Continuing to produce incredibly mediocre content in an exceptionally professional way. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rampey.
All discombobulated. This portion of the show being brought to you by Smithfield, the biggest name in pork, bringing you great opportunities this barbecue season. Get smoking with Smithfield. And their grant program and Committed Cooks program. Learn more at smokinwithsmithfield.com. That's smokinwithsmithfield.com. Emily Detweiler was supposed to be on at 9:35 this evening. Sick kid. Had to reschedule. She'll be back hopefully next Tuesday, probably around the same time slot. All right, many of us have propane grills, like 90-some-odd% of us, if I'm not mistaken. One of the key components of the gas grill, the propane tank. And while some grills have a fairly easy access to the tank shutoff valve, many are carted in or enclosed, so they look nice, but making it a hassle to turn on the gas tank right from the tank, which means you might not do it, or you'll forget. And if there was a way to remedy this situation, well, maybe there might be. You might be in luck. My next guest has a product to tell you about. Let's race to the hotline and welcome first-timer to the show, Cory Civillo from Knob Where You Need It. Cory, how are you, buddy?
Good, Greg. How are you doing?
Absolutely fabulous, Cory. Appreciate you making time for the show. I guess before we get into Knob Where You Need It, talk to me a little bit about your background, and are you a guy that is into the barbecue and grilling scene outside of being in the business of it? What's up?
Yeah, I mean, as a hobby, always. But I'd say probably until I started getting really into it, I was mostly a griller, burgers, dogs, steaks, that kind of stuff. But since I started, getting more into it and reading everybody's blogs and stuff, I've been smoking pork butts and doing a brisket or two, and I love it. It's so much fun.
Where are you based out of, Cory?
So we started up in Denver, Colorado, and I'm actually currently in the process of moving down to Dallas area.
Like, are you literally on the road heading down to Dallas?
You might say, actually, I'm at my in-laws' place in Kansas, where we're kind of basing out until we find a house down there.
So that would hence the storms you were talking about in the storm capital of the world.
Yeah, pretty much. Got one tonight, and so no internet for them because they're still on satellite internet.
Oh, great! So they missed the big debut. Oh, damn it!
Yeah, yep.
Well, they can go get it on podcast tomorrow. No problems. All right. So, Cory, was there a precipitating event that led you to kind of think about, and maybe you didn't even think about Knob Where You Need It as a name, but was there a precipitating event that led you to think about Knob Where You Need It?
Yeah, I mean, actually, it was really simple, and it was my brother Adam, who is my business partner too. It was his idea originally, and he basically was just at a buddy's house grilling, drinking, and had to reach down behind the guy's grill to turn off the propane tank when they were done. It didn't even have cabinet. It just had like the fascia in front.
Yep.
And he just offhandedly commented, why do we have to do this? Like, why isn't the control on the control panel? And his buddy was like, cool, why don't you make that? And so we started kicking the idea around, and that's where it came from. And we just kept going through iterations and ideas and trying to figure out, why hasn't this been done? Is there a reason it won't work? What's the deal? And does it really, add a lot to the grilling experience? And we didn't really hit any stopping points, and once we got a good prototype, and, I had it on my grill for a while, and we're like, yeah, I think it does work, and it does add value.
Can you paint a mental picture of Knob Where You Need It and kind of how it operates and how it would install to a certain degree? Obviously, you can go to the website and check it all out, but just for a mental picture.
Yeah. So of course, there's video on the website, but basically, it's really simple, and we wanted it to be really simple. So it's a mechanical device. It uses a bidirectional flexible steel shaft to transfer torque down to the knob on the propane tank. And then we, along with some engineers, just came up with a nifty little adapter that easily snaps on and off over the top of your existing propane tank handle. So you don't have to modify the tank, you don't have to modify your propane delivery system or anything. So that adapter is then connected via that flexible shaft to a knob at the top end that gets installed through either a side shelf or right through your control panel if you want. So when you turn that top knob, it's going to transfer that torque down that shaft and turn your tank just like you're doing it with your hand.
Now, to be clear, because I'm a guy that never likes to drill in anything just because I'm not handy, this is something that does require you to put a hole in the grill or whatever cooker you're using.
Yeah. So currently that's the way we have it to be installed. We, our future plans, and we're kicking around ideas to try and make some sort of a quick stall option where you can maybe attach something with a clamp, some kind of a screw, but for right now, that's it. Yep.
All right, so how long does it take to go from initial prototype to an item that you're ready, that you and Adam are ready to bring to market and try and make a go of it?
Well, for us, I mean, being our first time doing it and self-funding and not really having the expertise, it took us about, I'd say about 2.5 years to get to that point. 2 years, 2.5 years, something like that. We made our first prototypes literally in the garage, like a lot of people. Our first tank knob adapter was made out of wood, which failed almost instantly, but it worked for like a time or two, so we were on to it. And we did several more by ourselves, and then we got some engineers involved, and we got it to look pretty, and after we paid them a bunch of money, we ended up with something. And then, so I would say about 2.5 years is by the time we had like our first alpha run in production.
Are you guys like in the hole at this point, or are you kind of self-funding as you had the money so you could be as close to break even when you really started getting out there to sell?
I would say we're in the hole. So we self-funded, out of savings basically, for a bit, and then we ran through that, and my wife wouldn't let me spend any more money.
Wives.
Then, I know. So then I actually then tapped her parents, and we got a little more out of my in-laws.
Ballsy.
And we're basically kind of through that too. So and now we're starting to use a little debt to finance operations, and that's just kind of how it is in the beginning. And it's scary, but I think if you believe in the product and what it can do and how it can help people and how it can help, I think the big thing for us is make grilling safer. I mean, it's rare that something's going to happen, something bad is going to happen. But when it does with a tank of propane, it's usually not good. And so the safest way, the best way to make sure that doesn't happen is to get it closed at the tank.
Is your wife buying in to this whole thing, or is she just appeasing your entrepreneurial spirit?
I think she buys in at this point. I would say for the first while, maybe even the first couple of years, she was just kind of appeasing. But I think she buys in, I mean, honestly, I think once we got one on our grill is when she started buying in and thinking that it could be, useful to a lot of people. And to be honest, when my brother first came to me with it, I thought, I don't know, this seems like it's for lazy people, right? But even at that, I was like, well, but that's what we do in this country.
It's America, baby.
It's America. Everything's for convenience. So even if it's just convenience, there it is. But I started thinking through it more, and I'm like, older people or people with, limited mobility, bad backs or knees might really appreciate it, for one. Once we started doing some market research, we found out that so many people intend to shut their valve off, but they don't because they either forget or they just don't want to reach down there or for whatever reason. And so that, not even just laziness, but out of forgetfulness, people would appreciate it.
Yep. Are you selling to distributors or retailers, or I guess what's the concept or goal of pull-through?
So as of right now, and for about the last probably 10 months, we've been selling through our website and for less time through Amazon. So just retailing it ourselves. After the HPBA Expo, we had quite a bit of interest, and so we're talking with some distributors and some manufacturers, reps, to possibly go that route. And then, to be honest with you, we're kind of using an all of the above approach at this point. But I mean, it's great in aftermarket, and people with just a little bit of handiness can install it themselves. It's really easy. I think you just said you weren't that handy, but you did it. And so
now, look, to be perfectly honest, I completely screwed it the first 25 minutes because I was. So here's my bitch, and you can you'll read about it in AmazingRibs.com review as well. I would, if I'm Cory, I would include a hard copy of instructions, because now you get an idiot like me who's left to his own device of running back and forth between the phone and the grill, and that very first step where you're supposed to put the nut or the washer and then the nut down, or the vice versa, whatever it is. Well, I didn't realize then that you had to, when you stuck it through the hole, then you put the other nut and washer down on the top. I figured that out an hour later. But and everything's fine and it works great, but I would like to have physical instructions, and I know that the directions are going to be at the website, but when you're outside, maybe you're not bringing your phone or you can't see it as well, and I think the paper instructions are still kind of worth or have some value in there. My 2 cents.
Yeah, definitely, and we appreciate that, and we actually got that feedback at the expo as well. We were trying to be all green and not have them, and everyone has their
everybody
devices,
talks about green. Nobody gives a shit about green. They're liars. The only thing anybody cares about green is money.
Yeah,
that's right.
So we're going to get those back in there. We had them at first, and we're like, people, it's the internet age, but no, people do appreciate that. So we're going to get those back in there.
From a selling proposition, is it a safety item that you're pitching it as, or is it convenience? More for like distributors and man reps versus obviously the people who are just showing up to the website.
Yeah, I think a safety thing, is the main thing. All the grill manufacturers, if you read their literature when you get a new gas grill, it says, when you're done grilling, turn off the propane at the tank. And all the propane organizations, if you read their websites and stuff, they'll say, when it comes to gas grilling, be sure to turn off your, propane at the tank. And really for all propane appliances. And so this makes it, readily available. It's in your face, so you don't forget to do it. Just go ahead and do it,
Is there anything else that competes with you guys right now?
No. Nope.
Wow.
Nothing.
Captured market.
We did it. Sorry.
Captured market.
Yeah, that's the plan. And we're going to try and go ahead and get that market. I'm sure after the show that, I just feel like probably, there was a lot of people, grill companies that saw it that liked it, and I'm sure the competition's coming, but for right now, it's us.
Price point.
So we've got it for $49.95 on the website and on Amazon. Retail price.
Are there other uses for it outside of putting it on a grill? Could you use it anywhere where you kind of have a knob that might not be conveniently located? I'm not sure. I can't come up with a scenario right off the top of my head, but I would assume it would work, right?
Yeah. So as it currently stands, for any propane tank 40 pounds and under, it can be used. So there's lots of things. People were talking about forklifts. A lot of forklifts operate on propane, and a lot of them have gone to using the 20-pound upright tank, which is under a seat sometimes, and so it's not easy to get to, and it's easy to forget. Adam and I are originally from Minnesota, where people do a lot of ice fishing, and so a lot of times they'll have tanks outside their ice house, and it might be nice to be able to turn those on and off from inside the warm ice house instead of outside. So yeah, I think there's lots of applications.
This is Cory Civillo. Him and his brother Adam have created Knob Where You Need It, and you can find that at knobwhereyouneedit.com. Kevin Huber actually linked it up in the chat room. Actually, Kevin Huber just ordered one. You got an order from South Dakota, believe it or not. There's actually people that live up there by choice. So this is Cory. I appreciate your time tonight. Great meeting you down at HPB, and continued success with the product.
Thank you very much, Greg.
You got it. There he is. Cory Civillo, knobwhereyouneedit.com. Your order of $56.75 has been confirmed. That's total with shipping, right, Kevin? Do you like that price, consumer? Kevin, do you like that price? I mean, Kevin's loaded, so I mean, $50-$60 to him is like, $3 for me. He's loaded. Money bags. So I will, as I just posted, I'm doing a review. I'm kind of like the new accessories tester for AmazingRibs.com, and I'm going to be doing some stuff for them. This is one of the things that I reviewed over the weekend. Installed it, and I've been turning it on and off and on and off and on and off for the last 2 days. So more than most people would have done already in like 3 or 4 months. So that's good. And it works. It's trust me, very easy to install. If you're not an idiot like me, super easy. All right, folks, if you didn't know, Big Papa Smokers is the one-stop shop for anyone interested in barbecue, featuring a comprehensive selection of all American-made grills, spices, sauces, accessories, even a kit that gives you everything you need to make a world-class smoker out of a 55-gallon drum. Big Papa Smokers has made a name for itself by making an award-winning line of championship rubs. Their rubs have won almost every major competition barbecue event, period. They've also banded together with fellow California-based rub company Simply Marvelous Barbecue to form what has now become known as the West Coast Offense. Defying conventional wisdom, these two California-based rub makers have cornered the market on competitive barbecue and begun to redefine the flavor profile that competitive cooks from across the country have begun to aim for. They've even created 2 of their own unique competitions, King of the Smoker, which brings the best of the best in barbecue head-to-head in a back-to-basics competition. King of the Smoker is unique in that contestants may not use any electric devices such as pellet cookers or pit miners. Contestants just allowed to use charcoal, wood, and their wits to win one of the most high-stake barbecue competitions around. The other event, known as the Guinea Pig, is a cost-controlled competition that helps bring in newcomers to competitive barbecue. It also features prize distribution all the way down to 10th place in each category, which helps provide incentive to get new competitors in the world of barbecue, plus keeping the savvy vets. On top of all of that, Big Papa has created a unique brand ambassador program called the BPS Elite Team, featuring 15 of the best competition teams in the country, working together to promote camaraderie, competition barbecue, and to benefit children's charities across the U.S. Keep in mind, Big Papa Smokers has been able to do all of this with only 6-7 years of being in the biz, turning the competition barbecue world on its head, creating their own unique competitions, becoming a staple of a nationwide restaurant chain, and benefiting children's charities across the U.S. It's just the beginning for Big Papa Smokers. Here's the website, BigPapaSmokers.com. That's BigPapaSmokers.com. All right. Let's wrap this bad boy up. We'll be right back. Stick around.
Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. 216-220-0966. Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. I wonder if we're getting a storm here. The second time in a month that we've had the internet go down. Can't have that. It's an internet show, for crying out loud. I can't have it go down. Nuts. Got to keep it together. I need the upstream to be at a high velocity. All right, thanks again to Cory Civillo from Knob Where You Need It. Again, the website, Knob, K-N-O-B, knobwhereyouneedit.com. It does have all the installation instructions on there, website-wise. And really, that's kind of my only complaint, is that it didn't have, if it would have had the directions, I would like to say that perhaps I would have had a better shot at not losing a whole half hour of trying to figure out, what am I doing wrong? In fact, in the video that I did for AmazingRibs.com, you can see before I fixed it how I had it on there. I mean, what a dummy. I mean, it's just, sometimes you get your handiness from one side of the family, and it's the male side of the family. And you're just not overly encouraged to, be the grow-up handy kid around the place. If I live with no regrets, but I sure wish I would have taken more of an interest in fixing shit. Because then I literally could, so I have a Weber Genesis gasser with the side control panel top down. I could have had that thing installed in 10 minutes, tops. But an hour later, I had it. All the way back in the first hour, we talked with Max Good from AmazingRibs.com. Then we had Simon Flores, Diablo Cookers. Then, Chad Ward, Traeger Grills. Check out their new Timberline launch tomorrow, TraegerGrills.com/Timberline. And we ended it with Cory Civillo from knobwhereyouneedit.com. Big show planned next week. Emily Detweiler in, Ray Lampy in, just to name a few. September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. And until next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe. Good night now.